Hey guys, I'm back with another market update, so let's get started. So Sword and Shield has a bunch of yellow, which means price increases. A lot of this is because yesterday there was a seller called like K Cards or something that put up a bunch of boxes, like pretty much I think 1 to 2 boxes for a lot of Sword and Shield sets, and it pretty much decreased the listed price to like I guess like probably around $20 each. Um, and so a bunch of those were bought. The Dark Displays was bought. The Vivid Voltage. Um, the Rebel Clash and the Battle Cells were not bought, but so those were made at the lower prices. But pretty much we got back to the previous pricing. Um, some things on Chilling Reign. So yeah, Chilling Reign is back up a little bit, like more than before. So it was at 300, and then it surpassed its January 27th price. Um, it was kind of stuck around 317 for a while, and now it's at 320. So yeah, it's a pretty good price for it, but I guess it's been like it's still not. It keeps oscillating in the. Let's see. This is a 329, and this is a 313. I think it's been around less than 320 for since the 22nd, which is like I don't know, a week to 2 weeks, like probably close to 2 weeks, except for like this 323, 324 today. So no, it's a good sign in general, like that's up. But yeah, I also see a sort of escape from its sort of dry period where there's no demand. There's just been a little more like demand. It's like consistent demand, like every day people are buying. So it's a good sign for it. But in general, it's still on its general downturn, or it's been on its like I guess you can't really see it here, but yeah, it was at like listed at like 380 or something at some point. But I guess it never registered on the graph. Evolving Skies, I think it went down like a tiny bit. Let's see. I didn't even track it. It wasn't really enough to be significant. But yeah, it's like 186. It was at like 138 1389 versus 1386. But I am seeing with a couple of boxes. Yeah, there was a dry spell around this area January, and we're not seeing that as much anymore. So we're seeing more of a just a little bit more consistent demand. I guess there's a little more dry periods over here, but at least for like those 2 boxes, I'm seeing that like increase in demand. Fusion Strike, it didn't have like an exact dry period where there's no boxes sold, but I do see like a little bit increase in Fusion Strike. So the price hasn't gone up that much, but yeah, there's been more consistent boxes, and for a box this expensive to sell a couple boxes a day, that's a pretty good sign. But I guess before it's also a couple boxes a day. But yeah, Fusion Strike is I didn't track it either, but it only went up like $2 or $1, so I didn't think it was as noteworthy to track. And then Brilliant Stars. So this is pretty significant in my mind, or possibly aside something more significant. So Brilliant Stars has been stuck. This is only a like a $7 price increase, but it's been around 285 since the 20th, which is 11. That's like 2 weeks. So to see it like actually start to have a price increase after 2 weeks is pretty like exciting. Um, and yeah, like before, like there's been some consistent sales in the last couple of days. Um, but there's been blocks before, so I don't want to like overstate it. Um, like I know that these things are kind of they're gonna probably have a run at some point. Since it's February, it's safe to say this year. I just don't know exactly when, so I just want to look for the signs of it. Astral Radiance. Um, yeah, it's also basically just recovered from yesterday. But it is a little lower than before. It was at like 235 for the longest time, and then sale yesterday was like K car sold for 202, and now it's like 230. So maybe that scared some people and selling for a lower price. And then But yeah, some were bought yesterday. That was probably the K cards one. And then Lost Origin. Yeah, Lost Origin didn't change very much. Alright, so I want to talk about Scarlet and Violet. So I think I messed something up in my spreadsheet over here. Okay, let me just. Wow. Okay. Paradox Rift is making moves. Not really price moves as much, but it's also one of the boxes I've been looking out for because I know that it's like it has to cross MSRP this year. And like that's because it's so early in the year. That's a pretty safe bet, but people aren't printing this anymore. It's gonna even if people don't like the set, it's just one of the cheaper sets available, and everything's gonna go like pretty expensive, without an insane amount of reprints. So the price only went up like it's like $2, and it's been like that. It was that price before at around um 24th to 25th. But actually, a lot of the time, Paradox has been below 150 as I look at it. So staying above 150 is a pretty good sign. It was in the 150s from the 20th to 25th, and then now it's finally back up on the 31st. But I'm mostly talking about this block of demand over here, where there's about like 50, 35 to 50 sold every day, versus you see like it's more like 10, 10 to 25 or 10 to 30 every day. So you're just seeing a like increase in demand even for the month. So let's look at the that's 3 months, 6 months. Yeah, you just see in general demand's been climbing for it. So yeah, that's a really good sign for Paradox. It's just a little. It's been undervalued because of it was reprinted so much, but we're seeing like good signs of it's actually going to move up. Temporal is making moves. Yeah, it's because I can't track the Pokemon Center stock anymore. I think that's part of the reason why it's making moves, to be honest, because people just aren't sure and they don't want to miss out. Because Temporal seems like a pretty decent set, and then it's like, oh, why can't I get this decent set MSRP? Well, it's because there was like so much available. Um, yeah, I don't really know what the selling rate was because the stock tracker wasn't couldn't see it at that number, but it's going up. This is sort of the behavior you see either in a bull market or when people think it's gonna sell out. One thing to note is the quantity. The quantity is getting pretty low, so that's a big part of it. Like people suspected that people didn't have a lot of temporal available for sale. If you buy from Pokemon Star, there's no way you're listing it here because it's just there's no profit. So a lot of these boxes are probably people who got in like earlier, and yeah, the a lot of people didn't like when you ask this like buyer like sellers like resellers, say some marketplace, what do they have? They don't usually have temporal, and I think we're starting to see the signs of that. Uh, and then surging hasn't really changed much. It's just kind of stable. But yeah, temporal 169. That's it beats Stellar Crown actually, which remains stable, and that makes it. Let's see, one paradox. Is that the fourth most expensive booster box? One, two, three. Yeah, it's the fourth most expensive. Oh wait, Obsidian. The fifth most expensive. I guess that's not that impressive. Okay, so Crown Zenith. I don't know how this will remain, but the pack price has shot up back to $7 all of a sudden. But there's only been so many sales of that. There's a lot of packs available, so I don't really. But a lot of the prices were selling for like 650 before, 660. There's a lot of quantity, so it might go back down. But yeah, there's been more packs being bought in the last couple of days. You see like there's like more hundreds versus before. That's like 300 to 600 about every day. So yeah, the CN Sky affected the pack prices. Otherwise, like you saw, it was like going up, and now it's kind of like recovering. I don't know if that's people holding or there was like CN Sky is drying out, but if I compare it to price per pack of CN Sky, actually let me see how much CN Sky is available at that price. There's 90. That's like There's only one person selling at 90 and 14. Yeah, we're either going to see the prices of packs go back down or Crown Zenith go back up for Sea and Sky. Because the price differential is just like 50 cents. So that's just, one of them has to give. But yeah, Sea and Sky is still selling a lot. So I think that's also part of it. Like, because if this is selling at like 40 a day, 40 or 50, and there's only 250 listed, like, there's going to be a supply demand issue. I get the feeling a lot of ripper shippers are opening Crown Zenith because it's so much cheaper. It's a very high in demand product. It's just kind of worth it for ripper shippers. So they're kind of eating up a lot of supply. I feel like. I had a ripper shipper ask me for Crown Zenith, so I was like, oh, I guess it's probably popular. Um, 151. The PCTBs have finally reached 400. And I don't know if I've seen that before. I've seen like 350, 365. Yeah, it's like a new high ever since I started tracking this. Um, Maybe I'll look at the official graph to see how far they've gone. But yeah, this is kind of a new high. This is just straight up all the way. So yeah, this is yeah. I think I want to do a video on PC TPs or PC promos again. Because there's just so much potential there. Like it only like I want to get like value that other people aren't bringing. So like PCTPs, like a lot of people I think who watch my videos want to see like arbitrage opportunities, and I think that there's a lot of like market shifts and arbitrage opportunities in PCTPs and promos. Because even though they're so expensive, like they're so exclusive. And one thing I like about PCTBs is that they have a reason for you to open them. Like booster boxes, they have a reason for you to open them because people like opening booster boxes. There's pack breaks and stuff. Um, the Sword and Shield ETBs for Pokemon Center, there's not really a reason to open them. No, there's no promo card or anything that everyone wants. Once you open, all the value's kind of lost. Like they're just packs. Um, but for this, there's a promo card which is actually worth something. So there's value opening PCTBs, which diminishes the supply, which makes it so they'll be scarce over time, similar to booster boxes. The binder collections are also still going crazy. Like, oh my god, I don't know how hard these are gonna go up. It was like 115 to 120, and then 130, 135, 142, now 145. There's only so many of them, so I get it. I get that supply just so low, but people are buying these every day. It's not like usually you see this. The price is going up so much because people like there's a sale almost every single day, and it's like a couple. So yeah, supply gets dried up. Um, and it says that there's let's see, that's five. It says that there's 18 available, but does that count these other listings? 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. There's only 11 actually available because most of these are just people trying to sell these the binders only. So that's yeah, I guess that makes sense. If a market which is only 11, these things are going nut, they're crazy. Um, and then Prismatic ETBs are recovering. I think people are finally starting to realize that they should have sold it for a low price. But yeah, I guess we're seeing the steep decline, and now we might actually see a price increase. The price per pack though, the the 3 pack things are still kind of struggling a little bit, and so it's like it'd be more optimistic when they go back up. But yeah, you can still get like this poster over here. It went down to like 1033 a pack. Like I feel like that's way too cheap for Prismatic. I really do. There's been a lot of factors which makes it so Prismatic is is only at double MSRP, which I know it's still great and everything, but I just feel like with all the supply issues, it's just kind of weird. But right now we're in the period where like everyone's kind of fire selling the people who like are just flipping or whatever, and then packs are getting opened up. I get comments talking about how like they see thousands of packs being opened on ripper ships, and if that's really true, then yeah, the supply is just dwindling. So that's going back up. There was a spike in demand of pack prices of packs being bought yesterday from like the usual 200, 300 to like 550. That was a big jump. That keeps happening, then that will affect pack prices. But as far as these quantities go, Like we're starting to see it where the point, like I've seen enough stable quantity, like Prismatic ETPs are selling at like at least 300 a day for the last since the 16th. So that's like 2.5 weeks. And so if you see that consistency, I saw that I was searching Sparks. You just sort of do the math. Like there's only 3,000 there. That number doesn't is it changing all the time? Eventually, these will be bought out, and this will become a scarce item, like surging Sparks booster boxes were. When the demand is just that strong, that's the thing that will happen. And surprise boxes, expectedly, a lot more being bought, this, even though the price isn't going up, because it's being released on the 7th. Like you see this 2/7 day, and some people already got it, some people already have it confirmed, and then the tins are also like they're also being released, so there's more being sold. But yeah, as far as price differences, the binders went down a little bit. Tin displays went up a little bit, posters went down a little bit. But otherwise, Prismatic's been pretty stagnant. Joining together, I'm seeing more bulk deals. So like here, there's this $90 per ETB, which is like a $10 discount. Um, this is a pretty normal 200 price. This is a normal 225 price. It's usually 200, 240. This is really expensive. I don't know why someone bought this. 10 ETBs. Um, that might be a case. I don't actually remember having a case. Um, yeah, I don't think I've ever gotten a booster bundle case before. Uh, but yeah, that's like 700. That's like $70 at ETB. I mean, booster bundle. That's usually you can usually get 50, 60 comfortably. This is a little cheap for a booster box, but yeah, it's a little less than 1,200. That's a little expensive at 260. That's normal. That's normal 200. This is a little bit above. Yeah, like that's a little high at 230 something or 240. Um, that's that. And then battle partners, I'm seeing more boxes being sold at the 120 price. I think these have the promo card though, so it's kind of hard to differentiate with the promo ones and not. But I'm guessing a lot of these like don't have the promo or 100. But yeah, I'm seeing more. Uh, Actually, this is today, so I didn't see this yesterday. So it's like a 92. It's still around 90 to 120, 130. All right, that's it for today's video. Thanks, guys. Bye.